Thaddeus Cleveland, Sheriff of Terrell County, Texas. Sheriff Cleveland, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Good morning, and thank you, Chairman Tiffany, for having me today and other distinguished members of the committee. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come here and show support of our border and how federal lands and the U.S. border and border security intersect. Other than my time here in Washington, D.C., serving at U.S. Border Patrol headquarters and my time in the United States Air Force, I have lived a lifetime on the U.S.-Mexico border, both as a resident as well as a U.S. Border Patrol agent. I spent the last 11 years of my Border Patrol career in Terrell County, Sanderson, Texas, my hometown where I grew up and graduated high school, and where I would still be a Border Patrol agent, but unfortunately God had different plans. Our sheriff passed away, and I had the opportunity to take care of the community that took care of me and become the sheriff. When we talk about Terrell County, we're the 10th largest county in the state of Texas. We have 54 miles of river with Mexico, and it's about 2,300 square miles in total. Next to us is Brewster County, where we have the nation's 14th largest national park, Big Bend National Park. And through our portion of Texas, we have what's called the Wild and Scenic Rio Grande River that also is part of the National Park Service. The activity we have in Terrell County is very similar to what you've seen over the last 4 years under the President Biden administration, the increases that we've seen. We have nowhere near the amount of activity that you see on television with Eagle Pass, El Paso, Lukeville, Arizona, or San Diego, California, and we have a different type of activity. We don't have people coming to our portion of the border to surrender and seek some sort of political relief or political asylum. What we have are people that still want to cross the border illegally. They want to cross the border undetected. When we encounter them in the brush, they still run. When we encounter them on the highway, they lead us into high-speed pursuits that you see often televised. You may ask, why am I telling you a little bit about the activity we have in Terrell County? And it's because the portion I mentioned, the Wild and Scenic Rio Grande River. We have a location, we have several locations where people utilize the cross. One specifically that I like to talk about is called Paso Colorado. And it's an area that only people crossing the border illegally get into this portion of the river. American citizens don't go into this portion of the river. It's very hard to get to. It's on private property. But this portion of the river is about 170 miles northwest of Eagle Pass, Texas. And we all recall Eagle Pass, Texas, talking about Governor Abbott's buoys that he deployed in the river that the administration said were harming the environment. Well, I can tell you, those buoys, I've been to them, I've touched them, and they are not harming the environment there in the Rio Grande River. Go back to the area I spoke of, Paso, Colorado, where illegal aliens cross in my county. I can show you what are called Salina mussels, as well as the Mexican fawnfoot mussel, and show you the remains of those that have died. And the only thing, again, that crosses that portion of the river or enters the river at that portion are people that are crossing our border illegally. Whether it's human waste, trash left behind, or even what they carry in what we call their mochilas, their backpacks, the chemicals, whether it's pain pills or it's salves for their feet, whatever they carry that's leaked into the river. That is what's having an impact on our environment in that area. I must also comment, I spent 10 years of my Border Patrol career out in Congressman Subcommittee's district in Sierra Vista, and I spent some time over in Nogales, Arizona, which was my first duty station. And I can tell you firsthand, I've seen the amounts of trash, not only in my county, but that part of Arizona, the parts that the pictures there depicts. And I can tell you that there could be much more collaboration being done along the border between departments within the federal government. And when we talk about wildfires, when we talk about the necessity of roadways for Border Patrol to use, there's not a better way to create a fire break than if we do it in a proactive, mitigating manner, rather than waiting for a wildfire to break out, which I experienced in Nogales, Arizona, back in one of our deep canyons that is on part of the Coronado National Forest, where the fire broke out and Forest Service had to go in and just create these fire breaks. If we would go in and plan between Border Patrol, the Department of Interior, and have a way to mitigate crossings, but also work together on the deployment of technologies, I can tell you we would all benefit from it. In closing, I'd just like to say that, of course, what we saw in the last 4 years is unlike we've ever seen before. And our country will continue to pay for that for decades to come. And we will also pay for decades to come the abuses that happen on our federal lands, as well as our private landowners. They're just as important, equally as important. So I'd like to just, again, if we don't solve this, now we're going to pay for it for years to come, and I support the Flash Act. Thank you.